Cheesecake has to be one of the most generalized terms in baking history, a cake of cheese. That could either be really problematic or really good. Let's just remember that there can only be one true king. You didn't know this, but cheesecake predates New York by quite a bit. And by that, I mean the ancient Greeks literally made cheesecake. Obviously not with cream cheese, so it took a couple hundred years to get it to the point where it is today. Then around sort of 1872, so like a couple days ago, a dude from Chester, New York came up with cream cheese. Completely by accident, so we can thank him for both fantastic bagels as well as the cheesecake. Like I said, there's many cheesecakes from across the world, and we're going to be making an American classic. But do you want to know what else is an American classic? Well, B-roll, but also Geico Insurance. They've been helping folks save money for over 75 years, and they're pretty good at it. Now you can combine your home and car insurance, which could save you even more. Now for bundling made easy, visit geico.com today. Head to the link in the description to see how much you could save. And with all that said, let's do this, shall we?
Right, so we're gonna start off with a nice graham cracker crust. If you wanna make your graham crackers from scratch, so you can flex on all your friends and remind them who the alpha of the group is, then you can find it in my key lime pie video. Otherwise, you're gonna start off with 1 1/4 cup or 161 grams of finely crushed graham crackers. To that, you're gonna add 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon or 2 grams of kosher salt, optionally some fresh ground nutmeg. Whisk all that together nicely. Then mix in 1/4 cup or 56 grams of melted unsalted butter till thoroughly incorporated. It should clump together nicely. Generously grease a 9-inch springform pan with oil. This is a crucial step. A non-greased springform pan will ruin your entire life, guaranteed. Now pour all your graham cracker crumble into the springform pan, and using a flat-bottomed cup or a measuring cup, press the mixture firmly to form a nice flat, even surface like this. This isn't the surface of the moon, it's a pie crust. Keep it flat. Now toss that into an oven that's been preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius for 8 minutes. Then remove it and let it cool completely. For the batter, you're gonna need a large mixing bowl for that maximum mixing space. Then toss in 32 ounces or 900 grams of softened cream cheese. That's 4 8-ounce blocks total. Now using electric beaters, beat that together with 1 cup or 220 grams of granulated sugar. This is a lot easier if your cream cheese has been sufficiently softened. Now once that's nice and creamed, add in 4 whole eggs one at a time, blending them in between each, followed by 1 whole egg yolk. Beat all that together till incorporated, then add 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of heavy cream, 1/4 cup or 57 grams of creme fraiche, 2 teaspoons or 7 grams of vanilla extract, a small pinch of salt, and finally 2 tablespoons or 20 grams of cornstarch. Once all that is beautifully incorporated and smooth like this, you're good to go. Pour your cheesecake mixture into your completely cooled, or you'll make Papa mad if no cool, graham cracker crust. Make sure to wrap the bottom of your springform pan with foil to keep water from getting into it. Place your cheesecake into the bottom of a roasting dish or a large baking dish. Pour enough boiling water into your dish to come 1 inch up the springform pan. Place that lovely into an oven preheated to 325 Fahrenheit for 1.5 hours or till set, but still slightly jiggly in the center. Now this is the biggest secret to keeping it from cracking at this point. Once it's done, open your oven door and let it cool in the oven, left in the water bath for 45 minutes or until the water bath is completely cool. Then remove it and place it on a wire rack to cool the rest of the way. Once that's cooled completely, place it in your fridge overnight and up to 2 to 3 days before serving. Now at this point, you just need to slice your cheesecake. Carefully and potentially stressfully remove your cheesecake from the springform pan and place it on a board to slice. I'd recommend wetting a sharp knife with warm water prior to every slice, then slice up your cheesecake, and obviously you can eat it as is, but we're gonna go above and beyond here. To make a simple strawberry compote, take 1 pound of fresh strawberries and cut all of them in half. Obviously, remove their tops too, please. Then toss them in a medium sauce pot with 1/2 cup or 110 grams of granulated sugar. Let that sit for about 15 minutes, then turn the heat to medium. As the juices leach out and it begins to bubble up, let it boil and reduce for 10 minutes or till syrupy. Take 1/3 of that and blend it in a blender or with a hand blender till smooth. Then mix that back in with the rest of your compote and serve on top of your beautifully smooth cheesecake. Now let's see how we did here.
So we've got our classic New York cheesecake. Well, I had to cut this one for the B-roll, so I do this for you, and because we don't waste food, I'll eat that piece. You're welcome. You're welcome. This is probably one of the creamiest cheesecakes I've ever made in my life, so let us begin. This is the smoothest The texture of this goes dummy. It is so rich, so creamy. This is smooth. I'm like tongue-tied on this. No roughness, no crumbliness, smooth through and through. People think this is so hard, but even if you're gonna make your first New York cheesecake of all time that you've ever done, this is the one.
All right, one more thing. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have leftover cheesecake. So what do we do with that? Well, I'd recommend that you take that lovely leftover cheesecake, cut off all of its crust, then cut it into nice, even 1.5-inch cubes like so. Place those onto a tray and freeze until solid. You can also leave them in the freezer until you want them. Now, once you're ready, get a medium-sized bowl and combine 1¼ cup or 185 grams of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup or 55 grams of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon or 5 grams of baking powder, 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of salt. Whisk all that together till thoroughly combined, then whisk in 1 cup or 240 milliliters of whole milk. Continue whisking until you get a nice well-hydrated batter like this. Then simply take your frozen cheesecake cubes, dunk them into your batter, and drop them into a small pot of oil that's been heated to around 350 Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius. Let those fry for about 3 to 4 minutes, flipping occasionally or until beautifully golden brown like these. That's genuinely it. Then just spider them out and let them cool slightly on a wire rack, and to serve, you're gonna top them off with a nice dusting of powdered sugar. I also blended up the rest of my strawberry compote to use as a sauce to drizzle on these, which was actually a very nice addition, and I do not regret. But aside from that, is fried cheesecake even worthy enough to be eaten? Obviously it is, but we're gonna taste it.
Fried cheesecake balls. If this isn't gluttony at its finest, I don't know what is. It's just kind of gross, but in a good way. It's almost like a beignet, like a cheesecake-filled beignet. It has that classic cheesecake flavor that we experienced prior, but redefined, a new texture. It's crunchy, it's fried. The point is, don't let your cheesecake go to waste. Do something nice with it. Give it some love, some little kisses by treating it this way. Well, this looks sad now, but then you have essentially deep-fried cheesecake, or a cheesecake donut, if you will. Thank you.
Do you want to know what else is cheesy and belongs in your mouth? B-roll.
Alright guys, and whoa, that is it. Thank you again to Geico for sponsoring this episode. They're helping me with my culinary journey around the United States, and they want to help you too, by helping you save money on your home and car insurance. So head down to the link below and visit geico.com today. So let's talk cheesecake. For one, we snapped on this. We absolutely snapped. I know a lot of people are scared to make cheesecake. There's no reason to be. It seems like something finicky, and a lot of people try to skip the water bath, and they're like, oh no, I don't wanna mess with the water bath. Look, it's really not that difficult. It adds maybe 2 minutes to your whole assembly and cook time. It's very, very, very not frilly, and it saves you from having a cracked cheesecake. Let this be your pushing off point to finally make your own New York cheesecake and be proud. Anyway, pride, love, kisses, Papa love you. So with all that said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.